Howdy folks, and welcome back to Casual Completers. This is a new format for these videos, so we'll see if you like it. Today, we are looking at the new game, Dave the Diver, which is a diving and restaurant simulator. Sort of. So, I love fishing games. Obviously, Dredge was the first video I did for this series. Also, I myself am actually a certified scuba diver, so it felt right at home. With that, though, we have 43 achievements to grind out, so let's throw that number on the board and begin. We begin our adventure by getting a call from our buddy Cobra, who tells us to fly our butts down and get to the giant blue hole where fish from all over the world are, and with the help of our other friend, a sushi chef, we are going to create the best sushi ever. With the completion of the first portion of the tutorial, we move on into the second, where we meet our sushi chef, Bancho. I love him. He's awesome. With those introductions aside, we begin our first dive into the giant blue hole, where we start spear fishing to bring ingredients to Bancho so we can open our restaurant for the first night. The game is split into 3 portions: morning, afternoon, and evening. You can dive twice, once in the morning and once in the afternoon. Time does not pass while you're under the waves, so as long as you have oxygen, then you can be diving for as long as you want. Though you will notice we have not received our first achievement yet. We still have a bit more to go before we get to that mark. Well, after our dives, we bring our hard-won fish back to Bancho for the first night at Bancho Sushi's. Here's how it works. Each night, you'll create a new menu that the customers can eat from. You can also keep some items on the menu and just have them replenished as you get the necessary ingredients. During meal service, you'll be running back and forth delivering the sushi to the hungry patrons and filling their cups with tea. Though, keep an eye out on the far right-hand side for the wasabi meter. If that runs out, then Bancho cannot make more sushi and you'll have to replenish it. Now with that, let's get our first achievement. This is Duff, a rather rotund weapons dealer with a love of all things anime and kawaii. You'll see what I mean when you play this game yourself, trust me. Cobra rings him up to introduce us so that we can learn to craft weapons to deal with some of the less hospitable marine life that want to make us lunch and not the other way around. He sends us on a quick fetch quest to retrieve some iron scraps and rope so that we can create our very first rifle. Once we're back topside and give Duff the required ingredients, we create our very first rifle. It's, a pretty basic underwater rifle. Upon completion of this quest, we are given our very first achievement, Undersea Gunslinger, for completing the gun tutorial. 1 on the board, 42 left. Let's keep her moving. Our next achievement pops that same evening, Culinary Master, for enhancing 5 dishes. When you get a chance, you should always enhance your meals because you'll get more money and the appeal of the food will also go up. Upon meeting a man known as Dr. Bacon, who fills us in about the alleged lore of the sea people and setting us up with a quest to find a sea person artifact, he also gives us access to our second app, the iDive app. Here, we can upgrade our gear, including our air capacity, carry capacity, and depth ability. Once we buy our first upgrade, we are greeted with the Better Equipment achievement for, you guessed it, upgrading our first piece of equipment. Once we retrieved the artifact for Dr. Bacon, he rewards us with 300 gold, which is 200 more gold than we needed to finally fix up Bancho Sushi from the earthquake at the beginning of the game. Once the restaurant's all fixed up, we're also greeted with our next achievement. Bancho Sushi is back for repairing the restaurant. We aren't quite done with the spree of achievements, though they do tend to slow down relatively soon. So we're kind of in that lot of achievements, and then they'll start to trickle in. Oh, I absolutely loved this next achievement. See, sharks in this game are a huge pain. If they touch you, they do a lot of damage, and they all have different attack patterns. But with determination, grit, and good old-fashioned American gunpowder, we take down this bad boy and are greeted to our next achievement, Angry Shark, for killing our very first shark. In Dave the Diver, Bancho Sushi has levels. The higher the level, the more popular the place is. You unlock these levels and you can get workers, gain access to different recipes, and several other great perks. There are 5 ranks: bronze, silver, gold, diamond, and platinum. You obtain these ranks from completing certain challenges on the social media app Cooksta. No relation to the other. Upon clearing and becoming bronze rank, we are also awarded with Influencer for achieving the bronze rank. Weirdly enough, the only other Cooksta related achievement is for becoming platinum. Remember how I was telling you about those recipes? Well, they require more ingredients to make, but have more portions, and so they're just more efficient with food, but as well, they make you more money. You obtain these recipes by researching them with Artisan Fire, or Artisan Flames, of which you acquire every service night. You can gain up to 5 Artisan Flames per night, and the amount is based off the amount of stars you received. Stars are gained through making sure people get their food on time. Upon researching 5 different recipes, the Culinary Researcher achievement pops, and I continue to be happy with our progress. Another perk to upgrading your rank on the Cooksta app is that more interior designs will be opened for you. Now, there are several different things you can change, as you see here. You can do the whole interior, you can do chairs, you have a bunch of decorations, so on and so forth. I was a huge fan of all the different styles, that you could change it into, and I really do congratulate the devs on their creativity. That being said, upon purchase of our first item, we are greeted to Shops Looking Good for, you guessed it, buying our first interior design. In case you have been made unaware, Oxygen in Dave the Diver is your health. If you get hurt, you lose O2. So, based on what hits you, you'll lose a certain amount of health. Sharks will deal more damage. This yellow triggerfish that is currently attacking me does little damage. Not that it matters. But in any case, here's my recommendation for you guys. Learn to cut your losses and make it to safety. Or, end up asphyxiating yourself. It just happens, But with that, on the bright side of, yes, drowning, we did receive our next achievement, Saved Dave, for bringing him back from the brink of death. So, look, it's not all bad. Sort of. Throughout the game, there's been this dolphin pair that you've had to help a few times. Here, you can see them currently being horribly accosted by some pirates. I, being the wonderful, ethical, and law-abiding citizen that I am, immediately start to shoot and stab them. Why, you may ask? Well, obviously for an achievement. Duh. Remember that, kids. Next time you're being arrested, just say it's for an achievement. The cop has to legally let you go. Upon giving these men life-altering wounds, the dolphins thank us, and more importantly, we get new undersea friend for completing the dolphin's request. As you are no doubt aware, Dave, the diver, is a spearfishing aficionado, going right into the blue hole to poke, prod, and ultimately bring back his wonderful fishy bounty. I believe this next achievement can also be gained using other methods, such as the net gun and tranquilizer. You don't necessarily just have to use the harpoon, but I may be wrong. Upon diving and skewering a fish, we achieve Predator of the Blue Hole for catching a total of 300 fish. Our next achievement required us to get a headlamp. To do that, we must now defeat this rather large squid, who is also, apparently, a weeb, as he is protecting an anime figurine that we need to trade for said headlamp. Kinda seems like an unfair trade, but Dave is good at fishing, not negotiating. This squid is also our first of many bosses we will have to defeat for a later achievement. After turning in the anime figure to Duff, who oh so kindly gave me a sort of new headlamp, again, just awful trade, we are now able to finally go to the depths of the blue hole. Courageously running away from a tiger shark, I find my way down a random passage. Upon entering that passage, we get the Deep Sea Diver achievement for venturing into the depth for the first time. All throughout the game, you can find these random items on the ground, from shells, metal scraps, starfish, you name it. These are used for creating and upgrading weapons, as well as the Eco Watcher app that gives you certain rewards. They're sort of useful, but eh. After collecting enough of these random drops, we get Scrap Metal Collector for picking up 100 items. Alrighty folks, we have now hit the point of no return when it comes to story spoilers. If you want to enjoy the whole story for yourself, I would recommend clicking off this video. Otherwise, we're going to continue. As you can see, this is boss number 2, a large wolf eel. I'm not going to show you every boss, as that kind of just ruins the joy of finding them, but we gotta off this fella for our next achievement. Once we have defeated said wolf eel, we are finally escorted into the glorious Sea People Village, where, coincidentally, we also receive our next achievement, Undersea Civilization, for, you guessed it, discovering the village for the first time. So this cute fuzzy guy is Momo. He is very adorable, but more importantly, has 2 achievements tied to him. The first, you'll see in a moment. The second will be later in the video. Bancho here tells us that Momo appears to like us, but seems to go off somewhere every night. We decide to go and figure out where he heads to. Turns out Bancho was right, and Momo does seem to slink off somewhere. We follow him, as any normal person would, and play a admittedly simple but nice gameplay break stealth minigame. This achievement takes a moment to pop, so I'll actually skip to when it actually pops here in a hot moment. But upon the end of our magical journey, we see that Momo has a kitten, and he feeds the kitten every day. It's adorable. Side note, I love kittens and am looking for opportunities to foster, and you should as well. Fostering is super helpful. Anyways, that's tangential, and what's more important is that upon completion of this, we receive Momo's secret for learning a bit more about him. You know the saying, there are many ways to skin a cat? Well, here in Dave the Diver, there are many ways to catch a fish. You can harpoon them, or shoot them, catch them alive using a Trent gun or a net. But if you really want to make sure they're toasted, you can also melee them. This strategy of beating up jellyfish was the easiest way I found to achieve this. After capturing 20 fish with melee, we are awarded the Mr. Melee achievement. So quick side note, this side mission you're about to see pop up, Stormy Night 2, is important for another mission as it unlocks a minigame, which that minigame is used for an achievement. I did not do this the first time, and if you skip it as well, do not worry. The mission will become active again when it's another stormy day. Good old reliable Duff. He provides everything we need, from small guns to big guns. What more could you realistically ask for? Well, Mr. Duff opened up his shop a while back to allow for upgrades to all your weapons. Just bring the necessary materials and money, he's no charity. Once you've upgraded your 3rd weapon, you will be gifted with not only a better gun, but the Arms Craftsman achievement for enhancing guns 3 times. As our culinary career continues, we have reached the ability to level up our cooksta rating from gold to platinum. Side note, what you're now seeing with like that double person thing is the only bug I encountered while playing this game, and it had absolutely zero effect on anything game-based outside of just like a weird visual look. Anyways, upon getting the checkmark from these fine folks, we are given our platinum rating and a Bancho Sushi regular achievement for reaching the platinum rank. As I'm getting absolutely roasted by this Thresher Shark. Seriously, I hate these so much. I'm using my sniper rifle to try to take it out. Well, the bullets pierce, and on a lucky shot, I actually hit another fish, killing my 10th and awarding me with Dave the Sniper for catching 10 fish with the sniper rifle. Next, I want to introduce you another game mechanic, fishmon, no relation. Every week on Saturday, at some point in the game, Udo will tell you there is a new wacky and zany fish that you need to capture. You'll only have the weekend to capture that fish. This is also just super relatively easy to do, as you can't actually kill the fish, you'll just stun it and pick it up. Keep in mind, each fish will have some sort of weirdness to it that you're going to have to do. So for this first fish that you're going to fight, you can't hit it directly in the head. You have to hit it from behind. So for the achievement, you will actually need to catch 5 of these fishmon, so keep your eyes open for these days specifically. As the story progresses, you will have become much better friends with the sea people we mentioned earlier. Mima is the proprietor of a fine establishment under the waves, and after you help her open her restaurant by obtaining certain ingredients, you will be rewarded with the achievement Dumplings in the Water for opening Mima's restaurant. A major part of the story is you're trying to help the sea people figure out why there have been so many earthquakes. The leader, Tenzin, believes it has to do with something known as the Divine Tree, but to get there, you have to go through the Glacier area. There are 2 achievements tied to this location. The first is for discovering, and the other is for entering. So these are 2 separate locations, but on the achievements list, they're actually called the same thing. It's a little weird. Upon entering the actual Glacier Passage for the first time, we unlock the A Dark and Cold Place achievement. Throughout the game, you're going to come across these photo spots. These spots are scattered and randomly spawn during certain times and circumstances. Keep in mind, these photo spots are not the same as the mural photo spots. These have to be creatures. You will always know they're there, as the game will go into this sort of quick cutscene-like appearance, and then a camera icon will appear. Upon taking my 10th creature photo, I was awarded with the Photographer achievement. As mentioned before, you're going to come across several different sea people to help out. Gumo here, after doing a prior mission, will open up the seaweed farm for you. This is a super useful resource, as it means you have a centralized location where you can grow all different sorts of seaweed for bancho sushi. Once you open the farm, the seaweed is growing achievement pops. Remember how I had mentioned there are 2 achievements tied to the Glacial Passage? This is the second. After finally unlocking it, and I won't spoil how you do it, you can take the transporting mirror to the glacial area. When we enter for the first time, I am rewarded with the Achu achievement for visiting the Glacial Passage for the first time. Throughout the game, an environmental, and I say that in the heaviest quotes possible, group has been getting angry at your seeming overfishing, while they themselves are destroying the environment and overfishing. Dave has been able to go farther into the glacial area, but due to it being cold, he actually can't go any deeper. Dave now has to infiltrate Sea Blue's base to acquire technology needed to create a cold-resistant dive suit. Keep in mind, this achievement is missable. At the top of Sea Blue's base, once you've gone through the 3 levels of sneaking, you will come across this last room with a conveyor belt. Again, if you're not careful, this is a missable achievement. On the ground, you will see this tin. When you get close to it, the game will give you a prompt to eat said rations. Once you take a munch out of the tin, you are awarded with the Ration Eater achievement. Our last sea person we helped out is the quiet but well-meaning blacksmith, Dua. Previously, you assisted him in getting some fruits from the Divine Tree. After waiting a day or 2, you can go back and he will have opened his shop, unlocking the Feeble Blacksmith achievement. Throughout the game, VIPs have shown up to the restaurant wanting something specific. The last round of VIPs is a cooking competition between Bancho and several other chefs. This specific lady is part of Bancho's past, but truly, that's unimportant, because what's more important is beating this smug, arrogant man in 2 days for a later achievement. It's super important you constantly go back and tend to your farm. This is the best way to get rice, wheat, whatever other vegetables you may need for the restaurant. You also have the ability to upgrade both the rice field and vegetable garden. Upon upgrading the rice field to its max level, we are awarded with the My Wonderful Rice Field achievement. Alright, so remember that arrogant fella we had to deal with for the VIP fight? Well, upon absolutely crushing his hopes and dreams and aspirations, the nice lady tastes our dish and finds it Amazing! I know. Shocker. Well, after some heartfelt communication, she offers to build us and help us run and create a Bancho Sushi branch. Once the building has been created and we visit said location for the first time, we are awarded the Manager Achievement. Remember all those artisan flames you've been getting every night after you close the restaurant? Well, you'd better be using them. After researching 30 different dishes, you will be politely rewarded with the Artisan Flames achievement. Alright, so this is a bit strange, and I'll explain. The achievement requires that you take a photo of every sea person mural. Every single one, barring this last one, you come across in the game, and Dave will make some semblance of a comment of needing to take a photo. For this last one, you will have to backtrack after unlocking the glacial area. You will notice nothing happens, and I even stand around concerned that the achievement was bugged. It's not bugged. It actually just pops at a weird time. You have to go back to the surface and speak with Dr. Bacon. During that conversation, the Sea People Historian achievement pops for photographing all the murals. When talking about farms, you should know there is no achievement for maxing out the fish farm or the seaweed farm. Learned from my mistakes. But after buying the last upgrade for the vegetable farm, we are awarded with the My Wonderful Field achievement. The next achievement was gained just through time and diligence in opening weapon crates. It requires that you unlock all 8 weapon blueprints, and you can do this by simply opening chests and picking up the weapon. You don't even need to bring it to the surface. With that, upon picking up the last piece for the last weapon blueprint, I am awarded Weapon Collectors for obtaining all 8 blueprints. The last achievement regarding the Sea People is selling 200 items to Dua. This is extremely simple if you've been hoarding a bunch of items. He buys practically everything, and since there are no achievements for the Eco Watcher app, all those sea stars and seashells that you could give to the Eco Watcher, you can just trade to Dua. After selling 200 items, I am awarded with the Blacksmith Helper achievement. One of the biggest pains when it came to the farm was remembering to water the plants, otherwise they would die. I know. I was surprised as well to learn this. Well, there is an easy way to fix this issue that does not involve praying to any form of a rain god. By upgrading your water bucket to its max level, you'll be given the ability to buy a sprinkler. Upon purchase, we also receive the Professional Farmer achievement. As we come to the conclusion of the main story, we have 2 achievements left before cleanup. Thanks to the power of friendship, teamwork, high ordnance explosives, and a massive magic laser, we are able to defeat the final boss, which grants us Creature Hunter for catching all the bosses. Now, quick aside with this one, it seems, and I say that in quotes, that you only have to kill the main story bosses to achieve this, but I was thorough and killed them all before the big baddie. After an admittedly and fantastic heartwarming cutscene, we are now in the end credits. There are 2 achievements tied to said credits. I'll explain the second one first, as it's not technically missable, but you can fail. There are 29 developer names on the end credits. You have to destroy all of them before the credits finish. I'll show you me getting this achievement here in a moment. Just so you know, this took me something like 6 or 7 tries to get right. If you fail, that's okay. You can retry this as many times as you would like. Anyways, upon watching the end of the credits, you are awarded with a Peaceful Blue Hole achievement. So, as I had mentioned before, this achievement is failable, but you can retry it as many times as you'd like. Here, you can see me getting all 29 names, but the achievement does not actually pop until after the credits have finished rolling. So don't panic if it does not show up immediately, as you can see right here. Once you take out all 29 names, you are awarded the Dev Killer achievement. With 6 achievements left, we are now in the cleanup. All of these achievements were being done in the background as they all require time, especially when we get to the Giao achievement. Starting off though, remember those cat foods that you'd been picking up from the little red pots and that you would feed to Momo and his kitten? This achievement takes a while because you first have to find the cat food, but then you can only feed the cat once a day. After feeding the cat 20 times, we are rewarded with the Catman achievement. At the beginning of this video, I had mentioned that there were only 2 achievements tied to cooksta. I was wrong, and I apologize for that. Our final cooksta achievement is rewarded to us after obtaining 720 followers, a best taste score of at least 375, and researching at minimum 32 dishes. Upon hitting rank up and the subsequent cutscene, we are rewarded with the cooksta influencer achievement. Okay, so I need you to understand how much I hated this achievement. It took me literal, real-world days to get it, and I wish I had my mic on for my real-time reaction. Seriously, finding this damn hammer was impossible. I thought it was broken. I was looking up walkthroughs, guides. I was watching other videos just to see if it existed and get a shred of information. Some sources said it spawned in specific locations every time, and others said it was a random chance. Finally, I came across this random Steam thread of a guy saying to check the 2 overhangs in the glacial area, or you can go to this specific room in the 3rd mechanism chamber, and if it spawns, it'll spawn next to this mineral deposit. Guys, it took me days to get this stupid achievement. What you have to do is find this ice block somewhere in the glacier area, take the hammer Mjolnir, yes, that Mjolnir, and then capture and or kill a fish. When you do that, you will obtain the God of Thunder achievement. This achievement is one of the longest and most costly ones. You are required to rank up at least 1 worker to max level. From level 19 to 20 alone, it costs nearly 100,000 gold, and that's just 1 level. Overall, without actually having done any math, it probably costed somewhere north of around 250 gold. That being said, I am nothing if not persistent, so upon ranking my worker to level 20, I am finally awarded with the leadership achievement. Remember those fishmon that you have to capture every weekend? Well, our hard work and persistence has finally paid off. Once we capture this striped eel, it being our 5th fishmon, we are awarded with the strange fish achievement. This leaves 1 more. Welcome to our final achievement, and admittedly, the most mind-numbing one. You have to raise 5 Gyaos on this Tamagotchi spin-off minigame. It's not hard to do, and it only takes a few moments every morning, afternoon, and evening. It's just tedious, and it does admittedly take just a long time. Side note, you can't get a new Gyao until your other one dies, so if you're speedrunning this achievement, like what I did, all you need to do is get your Gyao to its mature phase when it transforms into a full-fledged fish, then ignore it for 2 days. Upon obtaining our 5th Gyao, I am awarded the Gyao Master achievement. And with that, the hunt is complete with our 43 achievements. This was an absolute blast to play, and I highly recommend this game to anybody who wants a more relaxed achievement hunt or simply a more laid-back game. This video as well, super fun to make, and I truly hope you enjoyed it. With that, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more games, and have a good rest of your day.